Where's it at? Oh, it's this one. So to prepare for my next video, originally this was all reds, okay? And, you know, what good is that going to do? An all red bow, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even a real thing. Well, it's cracking people, Angelic Mayhem here. So, welcome to another video in my Path of Exile series. So, this is my level 40 character, O Unilateralis. Her namesake is a fungus that takes over the brains of ants. I am level 41 at the moment. And part of the reason why I wanted to do this video now as opposed to later is because I've noticed that as of level 40, I have started to pick up some significantly better stuff. And so I want to clear out some of my inventory in order to accommodate that. In this video, I'm not going to do anything in the way of spoilers to the story or anything like that. I will actually take you out and show you some combat at level 40, but it won't be anything that is boss man related or anything like that. So if you are new to the game and you want to be surprised or later or whatever, I will give you fair warning when I show you the new level, which will actually be in Act 3. Also, I'm going to show you guys the map for Act 3, and I'll show you how far I've gotten, so you'll be able to gauge, how long it will take you to get to this point. Speaking of which, I will let you know that I am 63 hours into this game. I would say that 50 of those have been with this particular character, and then I have another character, Maleficarum, who is a witch, and she's level 20. So I'd be willing to say that maybe I spent about 13 hours on her, and the other 50 here with this character. So let me just take you through it. Basically, I'm doing really good hits per second in terms of my bow. Although I will tell you that my primary attack is the split arrow attack, which does less damage per arrow, but it forks out 4 of them at a time. So, when it comes to groups, I can wipe groups out in seconds. When it comes to individuals, after I wipe out the group, I switch over to my standard attack, and then I do 365 until that person's dead. Chance to hit 95%, I have spent a lot of time, and I will show you my build. I've spent a lot of time trying to get that as close to 100% as possible. I'm pretty sure 95 is literally as close as you can get, so that there's always a chance that you'll miss. But really, at 95%, I'm basically hitting everything. Attacks per second, 172. Obviously, I wish that was higher, but given the kinds of drops that I've been getting over time, this is the best that I could do. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these. Obviously, you can see I do fire, cold, and lightning damage all at the same time. I also have buffs to my attack speed, which are related to the gems and the weapons themselves. And my crit strike chance, 1 out of every 8 hits, is a critical one. It really comes in handy, especially in a boss fight. Being able to do this much damage and then to apply 250% to that's almost 800 in a single hit. Alright, so here we are. This is the Act 3 village, like the main spot where you go. This is my stash. Up here, these are all the gems that I've been picking up along the way. All the currency that you would pick up. What I've done here is basically I kept the 4 best of all the different jewelries, and then when we get back into here, these are all the gems that I found, except for the ones that are in the sockets. These are all of my bows, which are precious to me because I am in fact an archer and I have no interest in playing with anything else. I do have a handful of weapons here that are gold colored, and the reason why is because I just wanted to show you guys what they look like. I might actually do like a separate video for just that, but you can see, like I have a nice variety of everything, and there's all kinds of different stuff that you pick up along the way. I only was able to find 1 amethyst flask, so I don't know if that speaks to its rarity or not, but, I haven't actually been picking up a lot of these, so, these are all just, standard weapons, and then there's all kinds of different armor. I do switch out some of these armors every now and then, but this is the one that basically, this is pretty steep, so I haven't really found any time where I've been like, man, I really need something else ever since I picked this one up. Again, I have more of the headwear and things like that. Here's my superior wolf pelt, which is one that I had at the very beginning that I was like, oh man, no one will ever touch me, 142 evasion, and this is going to be great, and yeah, right. I also have a bunch of boots. Now, I will tell you that the boots are the things that I swap out often. I'm constantly switching between these different boots. You know, whenever I need like different gems and things like that for different boss men and stuff. And over here, I actually had to buy a 6th thing because I really started. When I got to level 30, I was like completely full. And I was like, man, I just need some breathing room. So I bought a 6th little stash slot, and so that allowed me to expand over to here. The reason why I'm doing these videos now here at level 40 is because I want to get rid of most of the stuff that I'm like not going to be using. Like, I will never touch any of these. These are literally here because I just wanted to do a video about them. So yeah, like once I get rid of all that, then I'll have a whole lot more breathing room and life will be better. As a matter of fact, I have been picking up I would say maybe 7 or 8 gold shields over the past 10 hours worth of gameplay, and I've been using them on my Animate Guardian. So literally, I've just been wasting them on him. But you know, like a gold shield on an Animate Guardian, he lasts for a long time. So it's been working in my favor. But you know, really, I could have done maybe 7, 8, or 9 tabs worth of stuff if I had kept all of it. Now, I did for another video that I want to do, which talks about the gem, you know, like using currency to upgrade your weapons. I did pick this up, so he's just going to be tagging along with us. And this over here is my very first orange. And let me tell you, I didn't even know that there were oranges, okay? And when I hit 41, 30 seconds after that, I wiped out some lizard, and he dropped an orange, and my whole mind just went, it just wiped. I was like, what is that? I was so excited. So this thing, even though I don't have a shield, what I'm thinking about doing is in my 2nd slot, I might actually load this over here just to have it on me at all times. I will tell you that one of the things that you should know about if you're like a beginner to the game or whatever, if you have, you know, like 2 things in your primary slot and you're using them as weapons, make sure that you also add 2 things in your off slot, okay? Even if you never touch them, which I don't. I never touch these things. But just have them there because these buffs, like 35% increased damage and plus 12 to dexterity, they count. You know, even though I'm not using the weapon, they still count. So that's a great way to, you know, add to your character so that you can just, you know, go around wiping people out. At the very beginning, you may think that, you know, oh, you know, I'm going to have a medium flash for a while or I'm going to have a large flash for a while. You're not. You're going to get a whole bunch of brand new stuff. So just keep holding on to things and I would not waste any of these currency items unless you just really need something. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, where's it at? Oh, it's this one. So to prepare for my next video, originally this was all reds, okay? And, you know, what good is that going to do? An all red bow, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even a real thing. So what I did was I used one of my chromatic orbs in order to change this, and it happened to work out to be green, 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 blue. You know, so little things like that. This gives you an idea of like how rare these things are. So for instance, now I've used 1 of everything, okay? So whatever the number is here, add 1, all right? These are like the rarest of the rare, okay? After that, Orb of Fusing, Orb of Chance, and the Jeweler's Orb, those are, you know, like a little less, you know, you start picking them up more frequently, but they're still kind of rare. And then the rest of the stuff is just real basic. You know, obviously you pick up a ton of them, and these, you know, you actually create along the way, so you'll have plenty of them to go through. So let's say that you were level 1 and you know, happened upon a glass blower's bauble by some miracle. For the love of James Lipton, man, don't use it, okay? Throw it in your inventory and just leave it there until, you know, you're like level 30, level 40. You get an idea of what the game's going to be all about, and then you'll know, okay, you know, I'm going to have this flash for a long time, so I might as well use it. You know what I mean? So, you know what we'll do next? We'll do the build. So I am a ranger. So I'm here. I started off on this top path because I wanted the attack speed. I wanted to get that up as fast as possible. I went over here and I picked up projectile damage. This entire build is about making my bow as dangerous as possible. I will tell you that theoretically you can have up to 70 different nodes attached on this thing, but the time it takes to get there is going to be extraordinary, okay? I have maybe 50 of them ticked off here, and I've been playing for 63 hours. I would assume that I'd have to go another 63 to finish this off, okay, to finish this whole build. So what I figured was, you know, I'm going to be using a bow. I'm 100% committed to the bow. I will never use a sword. So the only thing that I wanted to worry about was getting my bow and arrow to be as amazing as possible. So that's what I did. I went through all here. This is all bow attack. I shot up here in order to pick up the strength and the intelligence because that allows me to get bigger, better gems in my stuff. I snuck over here for this bow, and I came over here for all this bow stuff. I would ideally like to get down here, and eventually I suspect that having gone in this direction, which allows me to pick up all this mana and extra stuff in here, plus this big plus 20 strength and intel, which is huge, okay? It's, this is a 30 and this is a 30, but this is 20 each, you know what I mean? So this is a big one to pick up. I went down this way. I probably won't finish this bow unless I just have extra at the end, and I'm like, yeah, why not? But I really do want to get over here to this bow section. And I also have my eye on finishing off this bow section up here, okay? So that's going to be a general understanding. I'm just going straight up bow, okay, with everything. And they're all in the nice area, and you can get to them pretty quickly. Of all the bows that I've picked up so far, I would say that coming down here from Master Fletcher was very important to me. I saw like a very significant pop after that happened, in terms of how quickly I was able to kill people. This path through here, I didn't bother with this, but, this path through here, I skipped these two because I could just go 1 and then 2 and pick it up. So I was just trying to conserve, if I have extra again, I'll go back and finish that off. Pressure points was also another one because of the crit strike. And over here, I was also considering this accuracy here because it's right there. So I was thinking that, but at 95%, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? This bow over here, finishing it off with piercing shots, 35% chance of arrows piercing. That's really nice because I also have the piercing gem. So really, everybody at the end of a firefight is bleeding. All right, and so that feels really good as far as I'm concerned. But really, I think the King of the Hill would really be sweet because that's the knockback chance that would really be nice in terms of I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting swarmed with mobs of maybe 10 to 20 people. If I could knock them back, especially like in areas like the garden and stuff like that would be really convenient. So I'm pretty sure that I'll be filling that out at some point soon. I don't know, it's a toss-up because these down here, Deadly Draw and Heavy Draw, oh man, they're nice. I'll go for Heavy Draw first, by the way, but then I'll probably swing over to pick that one up immediately thereafter. So there you go. That kind of gives you an idea of what my build looks like. I'm sure that seems very generic to some people who probably do like these monster builds. I do a lot of stuff with minions, and ideally I would have liked to have picked up minion stuff, but they're so far away. I mean, it's all the way over here, and it's nowhere near where the bow stuff is. So, I mean, sadly, there's no convenient way to get over there to do that. I mean, even if I had 10 extra and I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 would put me somewhere out here. You know what I mean? By the time I get over there, it's not even worth it. And always keep in mind that these connectors, okay, as I'm gonna refer to them, they are the kiss of death. Okay, that's just literally imagine that you just wasted a pick on this spot, okay? Because even though it's necessary, in order to get here, I had to choose it. It's literally like a kind of a step backwards that you have to take before you can accelerate again. So you want as few of these as possible, and you want as many of these as you can get your hands on. So really, I mean, other than filling out some of this stuff, which really just would increase my mana and my life, now, I'm going to leave that open-ended and say I have not finished the main, 3 acts yet. So if I get to the final boss guy and he turns out to be this monster that I just can't handle, then, I may reconsider my thoughts on that. But for right now, I'm wiping out mobs like a madman. And really, even when it comes down to the final boss fight, because I can throw my minions out there, and then it's a 4-on-1 where I'm the 4, and I can kind of stand back and just pepper away at them with my 350 DPS, then that works out really good. All right, so I'm sure I have bored you to tears. I am going to show you. This is the city of Sarn. This is the first place that you get to in Act 3. If you're not interested in spoilers, at this point I'm just going to show you how good this weapon is, and then after that, or actually my entire playstyle. And then after that, that'll be the end of the video. So if you're playing up to this point, thank you very much. And if you are interested, then stick around. All right, so single shot, you can see heavy damage, right? My primary defense is to use my zombies, okay? The minions in this game, they come in different flavors. I use Animate Guardian and my zombies, okay? But I use them for two completely different things. My Animate Guardian, I use to dispense damage, okay? And I also use him kind of as like a super tank. I usually put a shield on him that's just amazing, all right? The best one that I can find. And then for these guys, they're just cannon fodder, really. All right, so here we start using my primary tech. You can see that it does almost nothing to my mana, and my whole thing is the split arrow, which sends out 4 projectiles, and then attached to that is also my piercing, which causes them to bleed, which is sweet, and also my split. So whenever I have a group of, let's say, 20, okay, the first 4 arrows hit the first 4 guys, and then they fork into 8, and then those fork into 12. So like it's going to just splatter everybody, no matter how big the size of the group. I'm always on the lookout for, you know, stuff with a bunch of greens in it. By the way, just in case you didn't know this, see how it says red and green? If I actually picked up that etched sword, you can see that it's a red and a green socket. That's why those are there. I can only do 3 zombies. With Maleficarum, who's my witch, I can actually do 6 zombies at the moment, so that's really sweet. But for right now, 3 is fine. But you know, it is a really weird thing when you go from standing behind an army of zombies to only having 3 and they're really weak. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like a culture shock when you switch from one to the other. Now, also keep in mind that, obviously, these are the creeps that I ran into when I first got here back at level 30, and they are all level 30, so that's why I'm cutting through them like this. If I had taken you to another level, which I might actually do still. You know what? Let's do that. This is going to be a little bit harder to do, and I apologize if I die, which happens very rarely, but given that I'm talking, that's going to be a thing. Now, in terms of all the other magic that I have, I use it so very rarely that I'm not entirely sure what they all are. During a boss battle, I will throw out a totem every now and then, because then the boss will work on the totem and leave me be. Oh, sweet. Look at this. Straight out of the chute, we pick up a gold. We're going to go up, because that's where all the bad guys are. Ooh. Alright, perfect use of totem. There we go. And so now that brings everybody there, and I can just stand back and pepper them all. Plus I have what's left of my zombies, and I can make more zombies. And my totem is actually really leveled, so he can take some significant damage before he goes down. Whenever I have a pile like this, and I have, like, let's say 3 zombies, because it doesn't actually tell you the health of your zombies, there's no way to know if one of them is about to die. So what I do is every time I leave a body pile like this, I always snatch up at least 1, okay? If not 2. But because it takes up, I mean, it takes up a hunk of mana, so if I'm drained, I'll only do 1. But I always do 1, because that guarantees that at least one of my zombies is brand new and fresh. So if the other 2 get wiped out immediately when I get to the next area, I'll still have 1. Look at this. Whoops. Back. Sweet. Now here's my Animate Guardian, which some of you may know that I already did a video on Animate Guardian. That's one of my favorite magics. If we just start snatching this up, he can't use a wand. He can use a claw and this wolf's head and some mitts. So now he's just kind of in pieces. Oops, you know what? I'm missing zombies. And I should heal. That clicking sound that you hear is called Dota clicking. It's a habit, really. Now that I'm at the point where like these orange tools are going to be dropping, I'm very excited to see what else my character is going to be capable of. Because for right now, it's been kind of a pain to get to this point. I mean, really, loot drops at the beginning are so sporadic and unpredictable that you never know. Look at this. Look at this. Get out of my way. This is what happens when I speak and kill at the same time. I have sacrificed health and my shield, my energy shield, for the purposes of making sure that my bow could do as much DPS as was possible. You know what? I'm just going to hit him with a regular shot. And that'll finish that off. I'm playing like crap, but you can see... Oh, so you see when I hit him with my arrow, it kind of shoots off like that? That's the fork at action. So that's why once they get into a group, I can really do some good damage. Alright, get a totem going. That will preoccupy these guys, and then you can just pepper them. Once I have one guy, like the big boss man, I switch over to just a regular attack because that actually does more damage physically per strike. Significantly more, as it happens. Well, you know what? I think that's going to be the end of this video. That kind of gives you an understanding of, you know, like how I did my build. And hopefully, if you're like a new person to this game, that will give you a good understanding of what you can expect over the first 30 to 40 levels, you know, in terms of the different loot that you're going to be picking up and things like that. So now I'll be able to clear out my inventory, and for that, I am most grateful. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Get away from me. All right. And if you did, please click the like button or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oops, hello. Give me that. For more content like this in the future. I'm Angelic Mayhem, and I will see you next time.